Okay, so this will be the last instance of me covering Gypsy's interview that she did with Bob. I could honestly probably make infinite content from that interview. Only because there's so many inconsistencies in this thing. Some people believe it's like evolution of the truth. Yeah, she sprinkled in some new things that she hadn't said in the past, but for the most part, it's BS. And this is just the last instance for now. You never know when I'm going to have to circle back. And then people want to brag and point out that it's got 1.4 million views. Bob pulls views like that all the time without Gypsy. I mean, look, Joe Frost got 2.1. Gypsy, on the other hand, not even close. And I think that speaks volumes all on its own. Here we go.
On that point, too, where you mentioned your mother, in essence, was isolating you, right, from your father.
And there was resentment that boiled up. You know, it wasn't there in early childhood because I was so innocent.
Okay.
But then the more time went on, the more anger and resentment built up. Like, you don't let me go over to Dad's and spend nights over or weeks over with Dad.
Once again, Gypsy is blaming her innocent murder victim. And when I say innocent, I'm speaking in terms of the facet that Dee Dee was sleeping face down in her bed in her family home with her daughter. Gypsy had created a separate Facebook account for her and her mother, Dee Dee, to share. These pages come directly from the case files. And did you know the search Rod appears 394 times in the Snow Gypsy Blanchard account? Now, what I will say is some of those are repeats, but still. On May 12th of 2013, Rod even wishes Dee Dee a happy Mother's Day, which kind of doesn't add up with what Gypsy's saying. And plus, Gypsy had access to these accounts. She's seen all the communications between her mother and Rod. At times, we have even suspected that Gypsy was pretending to be her mother. Right there is a message to Christy. Can Rod call or make contact from offshore? We have asked him to call or email. Gyp wanted to talk to him before she goes back to the hospital. February 8th, 2013. Hey Rod, it's income tax time. I'm going Saturday to do mine. You still want to claim Gypsy? Can pick up the paperwork while I have mine done. This string of messages probably being the most compelling that Dee Dee was not trying to keep Gypsy from Rod. So Rod says, okay, we are planning to come up there on July 24th, so check your calendar. Dee Dee asked the question if that place they are going is going to be handicap accessible for Gyp. Rod says, I'm confused, LOL. I'll call you when I get to the dock later this week. Dee Dee, or someone from the Snow Gypsy account, says, okay, no problem. I just thought you wanted Gyp to go with you on vacation. If not, just let me know. It's all right. Hugs. Once again, Gypsy tells one version of events, and the evidence tells a completely different story.
Even with the medical stuff, I loved my mom so much at that time. My mom was my world.
Gypsy said something eerily similar in her initial police interrogation.
Your mom's dead, okay? Now, what I want to ask you is, what? Your mom's passed away, okay? And she's deceased, all right? Now, what I want to ask you, did you have involvement in this? Okay? Hang on, listen to me for just a second, okay?
And, I would never hurt my mom.
Okay.
No, seriously, I would never hurt her.
Listen to me on this, okay?
Sir, I didn't do anything.
To me. They want to know why.
Things very, very clearly. You think that it's me? Why would you think that it's me? I have always loved my mom. My mom and I are best friends.
Listen to me.
Mom and I are best friends.
Listen to me.
Okay.
And then I was going through my mom's purse and I found my, my health insurance card. And it said my birthday was 1991. And so I'm like, that would make me like 18, 19, not 15.
Okay, Gypsy, well, that can only mean that you knew your real age at least from 18, 19 on. So then why did you say this in 2015?
And your date of birth, Gypsy?
Is 7/27, 1995. On here they have 91 because let me make this a long story, but
okay, sure.
Me and my mother are Hurricane Katrina survivors.
Okay.
And my birth certificate was washed away in Katrina.
Okay.
And unfortunately, they messed up a long time ago. They messed up the paperwork, and it said 1991, but it's actually 95.
Okay, and that put you at how old then?
I would be really 19, but on here it's my Medicaid. My medical insurance has 23.
So there are two things important in that clip. One, where Gypsy says it's simply just a clerical error. Yeah, the differences and birthdays is a clerical error. And then when she says how old she is, here.
They messed up a long time ago. They messed up the paperwork, and it said 1991, but it's actually 95.
Okay, and that put you at how old then?
I would be really 19, but on here.
Oh, yes, the desperate thought of, I want my mom out of the picture. And it's like, I didn't want her dead, necessarily. If she would have went to prison, I would have been all the happier. But that, unfortunately, was a conversation he and I had.
Okay. So you had it.
Mhm.
And also, I'm curious, Gypsy, at this point, you are roughly how old? Because I know age-wise,
Mhm.
you don't know exactly.
I was 23.
Okay.
I was
Okay.
23.
You were 23.
I was 23.
So
Okay, so now you were 23. Got it.
And then until it was too late. And then also post our relationship, he's went on to have another relationship, prison relationships, and where he continues the same cycles over and over again.
okay.
See, this is what's aggravating. Like, no, Gypsy, you are the creature of patterns. Mrs. 1,090 pages of emails where you're talking to men from prison, men, women, Johns, tricks, pay pigs, whatever.
So I go to the bathroom, I close the door, I lock the door behind me, and I just kind of get into the fetal position and I cover my ears. And that's what happened.
Gypsy has always been so flippant when recalling that night. You can hear it in her voice. That's what happened.
I was in the bathroom. So I was instructed to go to the bathroom and stay in there while he committed the act. And I didn't come out.
Could you describing this? It's you're so calm. You're so composed. I feel like you could almost be telling me about a night, at the theater.
So because you had what verbally or in a text said
Mhm.
that you were open to having sex, that gave him open consent.
Yep. And in the eyes of the court, they feel the same way too. Because I told the court, I said stop. And they said, did he rape you? And they have evidence that I agreed to it. So I said no.
And when he asked you about raping your mother, you actually talked him out of it, right?
Yes.
And you did so by offering the alternative that he would be able to rape you after the murder, correct?
That's correct.
Did Nick ever rape you?
No.
And when you guys had sex after your mother's murder, was that consensual?
It started out as consensual, yes.
What do you mean it started out as consensual?
I told him to stop during sex, and he did not.
So you agreed to have sex with him consensually?
Yes.
So we go back because he was staying at a hotel nearby. So we go back to the hotel. And I also had been self-medicating. I had developed a addiction to opiates. So I was taking 3 Xanaxes and Vicodins all together. And I was very, very high after the fact. Ordering pizza, giggling, laughing, not a care in the world. Me as I am as an individual, I could never kill someone. Like, I knew that I could walk. But there was other things that my mother was claiming that I had wrong, such as, like, she claimed that I had leukemia. So obviously, because you can't see leukemia, I didn't know if I had that or not. I won't say that it's enjoy. I will say it's live in a new way.
Okay. So you enjoyed living.
It was
in a new way.
enjoyment in a new way. Because there was enjoyment, but at the same time, the sacrifice is the time that I missed from my family that wanted a relationship with me.
Once again, it's all about Gypsy and what Gypsy sacrificed. What about Dee Dee's sacrifices. What about what Dee Dee had to go through and sacrifice? That doesn't even begin to compare you missing out on Rod and that family growing up. Not even close. Society has to stop trying to normalize murder.
I feel like men instinctually want to protect.
Mhm.
And then I'm also a chronic flirt.
To play.
Ryan, okay, so Ken and I dated, and my parents, you know, he got to meet my parents. We got engaged. After 2 years, we got engaged.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
It made e-news. It was all over the news. It was all over every media tabloid. And he left me.
Ken did.
Yeah, he dumped me. In October, it was the day after his birthday. Same year we got engaged. He left me and broke my heart. When I tell you, we still sometimes have arguments about him, you know, I say abandoning.
This is all that I've ever been to you. This is how I feel about you. Lies! All it is lies! Lies, lies, lies! Ugh! Fucking soulmates, the hell you are! The hell you are! Lies! All of it! All of it! All of it! Nothing but fucking lies! Lies, manipulation! Fuck you! Go back to your bimbo blonde whore! Fuck you!
I'm going to spare you from the part where Gypsy says she's seeing colors for the first time and they're so vivid.
This is not what I want to be doing right now.
Right.
I was not expecting it, and I was not ready for it. When family and friends said, we're going to need to protect our girl because she doesn't know what she's coming out to, I was expecting hate. I was expecting, you know, I was going to be hated like Casey Anthony is hated. But it was the opposite.
Which is completely mind-blowing if you think about it. Casey Anthony wasn't even found guilty, and she was chased off of social media so fast, but she still clings to trying to be an influencer, even writing a memoir. Gypsy should not be paving the way for these other people.
Like you said, I gained millions of followers, which there's nothing that I have done that would feel like someone could justify saying that I'm a bad person. Not in that way.
Well, since we're calling on the morality police, I completely disagree. Having your mother murdered while she slept in her bed definitely makes you a bad person, Gypsy Rose. And you can try every day to be a better person, but you will never be a good person in my book and the book of many others. You know, the book of normal societal morals. And for all of eternity, Gypsy will continue to cling on to this notion that she is a good person because she didn't do the actual act itself.
Oh yeah, I hear those statements all the time.
And
I mean, it's just mostly online trolls.
Okay.
They might be username 7, 8, 9, 10. But you know, you don't know if it's bots or if it's people with actual opinions. But opinions, everybody has one.
Interesting for Gypsy to bring up bots and say, well, I don't know if they're bots. Well, why is that? Because you're always buying bots. Like, what do you mean you don't know?
And like I say, I'm not perfect, but whatever it is, whether it be I had my daughter out of wedlock, I divorced my ex-husband, they throw that in my face like that's a crime. And I'm like, if you would realize that's not the worst thing. Okay?
yes.
Be thankful that the little stupid shit is just all I'm doing.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Be thankful that the little stupid shit is just all I'm doing.
Yeah.
I held her close and I was like, I love you. I love you so much, and Mommy's never gonna let anything happen to you. Because in my heart, I felt like I was hugging a baby me. Because, you know, my dad didn't get a chance to be around in my life as much as he wanted.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to come on my podcast too.
Oh yeah. I'm there. We can unpack my trauma.
Yay!
On that grim